Jim Jones thought he had seen it all. Fame, loyalty, betrayal. He believed he had survived the worst. But nothing could have prepared him for what unfolded in that courtroom. It wasn't just a cheating scandal. It was a carefully calculated humiliation set in motion with a single USB drive. And the fallout? It's still shaking the internet, the entertainment world, and Jim's very identity. It all started quietly. Jim was calm, seated beside his legal team. Chrissy was nearby, confident as ever. And then Cameron stood up, walked to the front, and handed the court clerk a small USB stick. A moment later, the screens lit up. The room hushed. Everyone leaned in. No one could have predicted what was about to play. On the video, Chrissy appeared on screen wearing heels and a hoodie, walking into a hotel. But not just any hotel, the Moran Hotel in Soho. She wasn't alone. A man trailed beside her. It wasn't Jim. It was Reggie. The same Reggie she had always claimed was just a friend. As the footage played, Chrissy laughed, leaned close to Reggie and whispered, "Let him stay clueless." The entire courtroom froze. Jim didn't flinch. He didn't speak. It was like his soul had stepped out of his body. Mama Jones, seated behind him, clenched her fists. Cameron leaned back, his face smug, almost satisfied. He had waited for this moment, and it showed. This wasn't random, it was methodical. Chrissy knew about the courtroom cameras. She knew this would be public. But she didn't seem shaken. That's what made it worse. The footage, dated and time-stamped, showed Chrissy pulling up her hoodie and walking into the hotel at 9:13 p.m. Reggie opened the door for her. There was no mistaking what was going on. People had heard whispers for months, rumors about Chrissy and Reggie. She denied everything. But now there was evidence. Clear, high-resolution video. No ambiguity, no chance of denial. When the footage reached the part where Chrissy said, "Jim still thinks I'm at my cousin's. He's so dumb," the courtroom gasped. That was the breaking point. Jim collapsed, clutching his chest. EMTs were called in. Security rushed to stabilize the chaos. Mama Jones screamed, "You lied to my son!" She had to be restrained from lunging at Chrissy. Outside, she paced the sidewalk in a frenzy, shouting into her phone, "I told Jim she'd ruin him!" It should have stopped there, but it didn't. After a break to check on Jim, who thankfully didn't suffer a heart attack but was diagnosed with emotional trauma, the trial resumed. The internet had already exploded. Memes circulated at lightning speed. One showed Jim slumped in his courtroom chair with the caption, "Folded like hotel towels." Another showed Cameron grinning, USB in hand, titled, "Certified Villain." But beyond the laughter, something darker loomed. In the next segment of the footage, Chrissy and Reggie sat inside the hotel room. 2 wine glasses, soft music, candlelight. Chrissy was laughing, relaxed. Then she said something that crushed whatever dignity Jim had left. "This is where I breathe. With you, I don't feel trapped in someone else's life." Just last year, Jim said Chrissy was his oxygen. Now she was saying she felt suffocated with him. Insiders began to whisper. Some claimed Chrissy knew the hotel room had surveillance, that the suite belonged to one of Reggie's friends, someone who liked to record everything. But Chrissy never imagined that footage would land in Cameron's hands. How did it get there? Some say Cameron had an inside man. Others believe Reggie turned on Chrissy after she ghosted him. Either way, it was a brutal reveal. Court records confirmed Cameron submitted the footage as part of a countersuit. Defamation, he said. Jim allegedly spread lies about Cameron during a 2022 VH1 production meeting. But this was never about court filings. It was personal. Cameron wasn't just aiming to clear his name. He wanted to dismantle Jim and Chrissy completely, and he succeeded. The most shocking twist came next. Cameron's lawyer stood and said, "We have more footage and an audio file." Perfect. The court fell silent. Chrissy turned pale. Jim didn't move. The audio was a voicemail, Chrissy's voice, clear and direct, left for Mona Scott 3 weeks before the hotel video. "Mona, if Jim finds out, the season's ruined. Cameron can't know either. I need you to take care of that hotel footage. Reggie said it was deleted. You promised me. That moment blew the case wide open. Chrissy hadn't just cheated. She had tried to bury the evidence, with help from VH1's top brass. Her lawyer jumped up, trying to stop the audio, but the damage was done. Even court officers looked stunned. Jim finally looked up. His eyes were vacant. He turned to Chrissy, the woman he had loved for years, and saw nothing but betrayal. The courtroom screens lit up again. This time, the footage came from a production trailer on the set of Love and Hip Hop New York, a behind-the-scenes moment secretly recorded by a crew member. Chrissy, unaware of the rolling camera, leaned into Yandy and said, "I'm only here because I promised Mona I'd give it one more season. After this, I'm done pretending." Yandy asked, "Pretending? What?" Chrissy replied, "That Jim and I are still anything. We've been done. I just didn't say it out loud yet." That clip set the internet ablaze. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Chrissy was trending. Hashtags like Das Setup Queen and Chrissy Exposed started to dominate. Mama Jones burst past security. In the hallway, caught on TMZ cameras shouting, "That woman ruined my son. I want VH1 to burn with her." Inside, the destruction continued. Cameron's lawyer presented screenshots and emails. Messages between Chrissy and a VH1 editor asking for server footage to be wiped clean. One email read, "I need that room wiped by Monday. If it gets out, Jim won't recover. Neither will the show. Tell Reggie to keep quiet." At this point, it was no longer about infidelity. It was cover-ups, media manipulation, possibly fraud. Jim stood, shaking. He turned to Chrissy and asked one question. "Was any of it real?" She didn't answer. She just looked at the floor. Cameron didn't gloat. He didn't need to. He had made his point. Then VH1's legal team made their move. A representative in a gray suit argued that some footage had been unlawfully obtained, that releasing it violated confidentiality. But the judge wasn't interested in protecting a TV brand. He pressed Chrissy directly. "Did you attempt to influence this case with media interference?" Her voice cracked. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," she said. "I was scared." Of what? Losing Jim? Getting caught? Watching the lie unravel? It didn't matter. The final blow was brutal. Cameron's team had obtained text logs from Reggie's burner phone. One message read, "She played me too. Said she'd leave him. Now I'm the villain." Cameron got the drop. "I should have released the rest. She begged me not to." There was more footage, more lies. By the end of the day, Jim left the courtroom alone. No Chrissy, no friends, just him and a sea of paparazzi. Outside, a reporter asked Cameron, "Do you think Jim deserved this?" Cameron paused, looked directly into the camera and replied, "No, but sometimes the truth doesn't care who it breaks." The next morning, the footage was everywhere. Slowed down, set to sad music. Memes of Jim's broken face went viral. Clips of Mama Jones warning her son resurfaced. One line from years ago hit hardest. "You don't love my son. You love the camera." VH1 tried to clean up the mess. Sponsors pulled out. Production was halted. Mona Scott unfollowed Chrissy. Lawsuits flew in every direction. Jim's lawyer filed a $2.3 million lawsuit against Chrissy for emotional and financial damages. Chrissy's ex, Marcus, went public claiming she used Jim for clout and fame. Fans dubbed her Chrissy the Architect, the one who built the lie from the ground up. Cameron, always one step ahead, released a teaser. "You saw the courtroom, now see the full truth." The video hit 5 million views in 6 hours. Mama Jones went live on Instagram, venting years of frustration. Chrissy? Silent. Not a word. No statement. Just a trail of deleted posts. Then came the final nail. New evidence from Olivia Longot hinted that Chrissy had planned the entire arc, that she was manipulating scenes, staging drama, and managing leaks. VH1's credibility crumbled. Cameron claimed ownership of the narrative. "This story belongs to me now," he said. Jim took a break from public life. Love and Hip Hop was canceled. The internet kept digging, but the damage was done. and one question still echoes. Was any of it ever real? Subscribe for more updates on this wild, unraveling story, because if this was just the beginning, you won't believe what's coming next.